So every action has consequences, and among the consequences of any action are other actions. And knowing whether an action is good requires knowing whether its consequences are good, but we cannot know the future. So good actions are impossible.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is one that I would say diagramming is needed, in my humble opinion.
So what is our conclusion?
Well, it's that good actions are impossible. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
say, okay, so yeah, we could try diagramming this one. So every action has consequences. So if we have an action, that means that there's consequences. And
Consequences.
among the consequences of any action are other actions. So
So then
consequences
other.
must be other actions. Okay, cool. And
Okay.
knowing whether an action is good. So for an action to be good,
Mm-hmm. Good. It
requires
requires
knowing whether
something.
its consequences are good. But we cannot know the future, so good actions are impossible. Is that true? If since we can't know the future, good actions are impossible?
Let me actually think about this. Good actions. No, it's not. I
Why
think it.
not? Why is this a bad? What is okay? So now that we know that this is a necessary assumption, even predict this one. What is needed for this conclusion to be true?
We would need to negate, I think, for this.
Don't worry about no, don't worry about diagramming at all. We're saying we
No.
cannot know the future, so good actions are impossible. We actually want this to be true.
Okay, so we would need to fill in how GC relates back to the acts, like what we have above the diagram.
All right,
That
let's go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and go into our answer choices. And not
okay.
this is where like I don't like to overteach diagramming because I don't want you to overthink it. So our conclusion is good actions are impossible. Let's go ahead and start with A.
Okay, so some actions have only other actions as consequences. Um, could I maybe go back to why, like what we're trying to do here, just because I think I'm still missing it.
We're gonna go in thinking about what is needed in order for a conclusion to have a chance. So, like, in other words, if one of these answer choices were not true, it would destroy our conclusion.
Right. So, okay, so good actions are impossible, and we know that actions have consequences leading to other actions, and that good actions being good consequences, or consequences are good. So, some
So
actions.
must it be true that actions that at least one action have only other actions as consequences and nothing else?
No, I don't think so.
No, like there could be other consequences. We
Yeah.
just know that among consequences of any actions are other actions, but that doesn't mean that there's like not consequences other than actions.
You know what we're looking for? We're looking for something that relates to good actions and the consequences of those actions, and whether or not they're actionable, essentially, right?
I'm
So,
not gonna I want you just to practice not knowing and like going through and really thinking through the logic part of it.
I'm sorry, it's
No,
so
you're okay. I love your curiosity. And I can tell that you're like, I want to know what I'm trying to do, but I kind of want to show you. I just trust me on this one. So go ahead and try B.
okay. So B, we can know that past actions rather were good. We can know that past actions were good.
Is that needed for our conclusion that good actions are impossible?
One sec. No, because but it's past actions though. But we can't know the future, so that doesn't speak towards.
Yeah, we don't care. Like whether we can know about past actions were good or not, like is irrelevant. It's out of scope.
Yeah, because we can know what past actions are, just not future ones.
Exactly.
So yeah. So to know that an action is good requires knowing that refraining from performing it is bad. Um, to know an action is good requires knowing that refraining from performing it is. Well, that kind of speaks to the future aspect, doesn't it?
Okay, so for an action to be good, it requires knowing that not doing the action is bad. Is that necessary? Do we need that?
Let me quickly go through it. I don't think
Yeah,
we do.
let's leave C and go on to D.
Okay, let's do that. So D, only actions can be the consequences of other actions. So that speaks towards the other actions thing. So only actions. Um, that doesn't do enough for us though, right? I
Yeah,
don't.
only actions can be the consequences of other actions. So this is, I guess actually should have put other actions up here.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
a little
saying
bit too
only
isolated.
actions can be the consequences of other actions. Like no, like that doesn't, like there could be consequences other than actions.
That's not like we can't tell if it's impossible for the future. Like it
Yes.
doesn't speak towards that. And then E, for an action to be good, we must be able to know that it is good. Oh, that's a good contender with
Is
C.
that needed?
But let me see. An action must be able to know that it is good for an
That
action
is
to be good.
strong. But does our strength of our stimulus support that level of strength?
I don't think it does.
We're saying good actions are impossible because we cannot know the future.
Wait, it is as strong though because we say that good actions are impossible in every
We have a
aspect.
very strong conclusion here. So what
So,
this last answer is saying is for an
hmm,
action to be good, we have to know whether it's good or not. And so what happens if we don't know if it's good?
well then we don't have good actions or we don't.
Yes. And what is our conclusion? Good actions are impossible.
So E is correct, and then C, and then even with C though, it's a lot more mild.
To know
We're
that an action good will require, so it says in order to know that an action is good, we have to know that not doing that action is bad. Like I don't know what refraining from performing an action is bad. Like we don't talk, this brings in a completely new variable that's irrelevant.
right. And then even then, it's like that doesn't talk about how an action can be good and how that relates.
Yeah, that isn't, it doesn't explain how good actions are impossible.
Exactly, because even if bad actions are a certain type of way and we know about them, that doesn't speak towards why
Like
good.
they still could, they good actions could still be possible even if this were true.
Exact. Oh, I see. Okay, so then C is out and E is correct.
Yes. Does that make sense a little